Hi girls, welcome to today's history lesson, and we are linking our history with English today. So we are focusing on the race to space. But what is the race to space? Well, think of the word race. What is a race? So if you were in a race, a running race, you would try to get to the end line first. And that's exactly what the race to space was. Who could reach space first, or who could take on or achieve space firsts? And this was a time of competition between the USA and the Soviet Union, and we are going to find out a little bit more about it in the next few slides.
The United States of America and the Soviet Union fought on the same side during the Second World War. But the two countries were more like enemies than friends. When the war ended in 1945, both countries went back to not trusting each other. Each country wanted to prove they were better than the other. They did this in a lot of different ways, including developing more and more scary and powerful bombs and weapons. A lot of people thought they were going to use the bombs on each other and start another war. But instead, the two countries turned their attention to trying to win the space race. When the race began in the 1950s, the Soviet Union were ahead. In 1957, they launched the world's first satellite, Sputnik 1, to orbit the Earth. That same year, the Soviets sent a dog called Laika into space. Laika orbited the Earth and proved that animals could stay alive in space. This gave the Soviets confidence to try the same thing with human astronauts, known as cosmonauts in the Soviet Union. So in 1961, the Soviets launched the first human into space, the cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin. By this time, the Americans were really worried that the Soviets were winning the space race. Other firsts followed for the Soviets, including Valentina Tereshkova, the first woman in space. But the American president, John F. Kennedy, refused to be beaten. He announced that America would succeed in landing a man on the moon by the end of the 1960s. And this is the team that achieved Kennedy's dream. Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins were the Apollo 11 astronauts that landed on the moon in July 1969. When they splashed down in the ocean after their successful moon mission, the Apollo 11 team could claim they had won the space race.
So girls, that was a quick synopsis of the race to space. So now if you want to go on to your class blog on the website, there is a recount of the race to space, and it's attached as an English file onto today's blog post, and you can read the race to space and then do the activity at the end. I hope you learnt a little bit more about space today.